Coming up next, we will discover there is big bucks in selling bean sprouts and sushi to health-conscious South Floridians when I talk with entrepreneur Richie Gerber, who owns 2 health food stores in Lauderdale and Plantation. Richie is also blessed, or cursed, should we say, depending upon how you look at it, by having his cousin, controversial top radio personality Howard Stern, available to promote the business. And in an interview taped earlier, I talked with Richie about his health food business. Our next guest is a former school teacher from Brooklyn and an organic farmer from Maine who has opened a health food business here in South Florida called the Bread of Life, Richie Gerber. Richie, good morning and welcome to the South Florida Business Report.
Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
Doing very well. It's good to have you here. You've got quite a background, but let's talk about what you're doing right now. The health food business. It's called the Bread of Life, right?
Bread of Life, natural food market, and deli.
And there are 2 stores, we should note, one in Fort Lauderdale, one in Plantation, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And if your name and your voice sounds familiar to some of our listeners, it's because they've probably heard you on commercials during the Howard Stern show. Tell us about your relationship to Howard Stern right off the top.
Howard Stern, wonderful guy, and he's my cousin. He's been my cousin for just about all of our lives.
Well, that's usually how it works.
Yes,
so that's great.
So he's doing some commercial spots for us and promoting the Bread of Life throughout South Florida.
Now, as we mentioned at the top, you were a former school teacher from Brooklyn, New York. Go ahead.
I taught school in Brooklyn, New York. I taught school in Maine, way up there. Cold, and then I went to the opposite direction and I taught school in Broward County.
Right, and then also in your background is an organic farmer in Maine, which I guess ties in more to what you're doing now, right?
Yes, I decided to go up to Maine and be an organic farmer, start an organic farm, and I was one of the founders of the Maine Organic Farmers Association.
Okay.
MOFA.
MOFA. All right, and then you came down here to start the Bread of Life, right?
Yes.
You had this idea to start these health food stores and delis?
Well, 25 years ago, I became a vegetarian right before I went up to Maine to start the farm.
Right.
And so I've been a vegetarian, my wife and myself, for over 25 years. And the idea was we wanted to grow it, eat it, and live properly and healthy. And
tell me what's in the stores. What is it that you sell?
Well, we call it the Disney World of natural foods. We have everything from, we have a juice bar and cappuccino bar, organic produce, we even have a sushi bar. We have natural meats, Coleman Natural Meats, deli. We have our own bakery where we bake in the old-fashioned European hearth-baked bread method, crusty breads. It's really delicious. We have cosmetics, a organic wine section. I mean, I could take up a half hour, so you might want to stop me.
No, you can.
We sell Birkenstock sandals because, you know, for your feet, we want to start with the foundation of your health, and that would be at footwear. We have groceries.
There's also a restaurant in there. I mean, people just don't take food out. They can eat it in, right?
Well, first they pay for it before they take anything out.
All right.
But on the way out, they pay for things. But we have a cafe, so yes, you can get things at our enormous salad bar or the deli or sushi bar. Stop at the registers and say hello and pay, and then either you can take it out or you can sit down in the cafe.
Now, business, I guess, has been going well since you recently had the expansion to the Plantation store. It almost seems as if in the business world that the health food craze is almost even over now at this point. But it's not true, but go ahead, tell me about that.
I'm sorry you got me up here for a moment. And say, I've been listening, as you say, I've been doing this for 25 years. And it's always been a fad. It's always been, I've always been a health nut. It's always a health craze. How many more years until it's legit? You tell me. Let me tell you now, there are a lot of big companies looking and buying into this business. You have major supermarkets adding organic products. And you're seeing these products in pharmacies, the herbs and other things that we do. So we're legit now.
Well, I would say certainly your success is a testament to the fact that it's still very popular and something that people want to do now.
It's the future. It is the future of the food supply in the United States.
Tell me how well you folks are doing, if you can, as far as estimated gross of the stores.
The 2 stores right now gross between $15 and $20 million.
So it is a very successful business and not just a passing fad, as we say.
That's not successful enough for me.
There's something else I want to ask you about that goes on at the stores. Does it involve feet, and it doesn't involve what you put in your belly. It's what you listen to, right?
Well, I am aspiring jazz musician. I've been a saxophone player for just about all my life. And I have some of the greatest jazz musicians at the Bread of Life every Friday and Saturday nights from 7 to 10.
Really?
Guys like Eddie Higgins, Lou Colombo, Phil Flanagan, Pete Minger. I mean, these are some, he played with Count Basie. I mean, we have some great jazz musicians, and it's all free.
Boy, it sounds like a fantastic place to come and visit.
My theme for jazz is, it don't mean a thing if the registers don't ring. So people come in and...
See that? All you business people out there, those are words to live by right there. And has Howard dropped in at all lately?
He hasn't dropped in, but he did a few promotions for us. He sent me down several hundred autographed books that we gave away at our grand opening. And he's done these commercials, and he's a wonderful guy.
Obviously, a sense of humor runs in the family, because it's been a pleasure having you on here,
Oh,
Richie.
well, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you with the stores. Richie Gerber from Bread of Life Stores and Plantation in Fort Lauderdale.
Thank you.
We will